What's up, y'all? It's In Tune. It's a podcast from TBD Magazine where we feature artists, creatives from Louisiana, and kind of get a chance to talk to them about what they've been up to, their creative process, and what has led them so far into their journey. So today we have the incredible SPINELLI. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yes, of course.
We appreciate it so much that taking the time to kind of get here and talk to us about your creative process, what you've been up to. And yeah, so how are you? Let's start off by that. How you been?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm living it up.
Okay.
We're having fun.
Love that.
Rocking and rolling.
Hell yeah. But perfect. So let's get right into it then. Let's kind of start off with an introduction. Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and kind of what has led you to where you are right now as a person and maybe as an artist, but up to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm from here.
Sweet.
Music City, so
Mhm.
I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
I got into music. Not really got in. I mean, I was obsessed with music as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the mixtape era, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the no ceilings, like the you're searching for music era.
Hell yeah.
So when I was a kid, I used to always want to have the coolest music or like the newest music. So that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize at the time, but I was like basically like virtual crate digging
Mm-hmm.
at a very young age. Yeah, and then that blossomed into like some other crazy shit of like me getting into coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're in coffee, you like have to make playlists while you're working.
Right.
And me constantly hearing the music I was playing over the like speakers and how I was like curating. So it started to get real specific.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, on this shift, I'm gonna like curate this one playlist.
Okay.
And it started getting like real intense. And, like, and then people were like, yo, I've never heard
Yeah.
coffee shop fucking playing
Right.
Team Blind.
Oh, hell yeah. Come on, bring the vibes. If I came into that coffee shop, I would also be like, who is playing this? Like,
Facts.
I love that. That's awesome. So you were making mixtape as a kid? What
Yeah.
type of mixtapes were you making for your friends,
Well,
family?
it was more so for myself because no one really gave a fuck.
Okay.
Like, no one really gave a shit when I was, like, compiling things.
Mhm.
Like, no one cared. But it was for me. Like, I was the only child, too. So
Okay, got you.
I had to be a little busybody.
Yeah, just making your mixtapes.
Oh, yeah.
I really love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess in transition from talking about that, I know you were just saying, like, it kind of started with you, curating playlists and making mixtapes. So how did it evolve, or how has it started evolving or evolved as is from going from there to where you are now, where you are spinning shows every other week and curating shows? So, yeah.
I think, how did it? I guess at the coffee shop, it's a very social environment.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up just, like, forcibly talking to people.
Yeah.
Just in any service industry shit, you have to talk to people.
Oh, true.
So, like, it, like, turned into people like, what are you playing? Like, have you considered DJing? And I think, like, a couple people just put it in my ear.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, one of my birthdays had come around, and my best friend had told me, she was like, bro, you really need to find a hobby or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I told her I wanted to do MMA.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's in between MMA or learning to DJ.
Low-key, that's sick. Either could have been amazing. Like, DJ or MMA fighter, which one you choose?
And, right. And my friend was like, you fucking tripping. Like, you're not going to get your face fucked up. So she, like, snuck and bought me a board. She bought me my first board.
Wow.
So, like, that was how it started. And the second I got it, I was like, oh, like, I love this shit.
Yeah.
And then I was just practicing and putting videos out. And then people started hitting me up like, I've never seen a girl play this type of music.
That's crazy, though.
No, it's not.
I mean, I was about to say, like, let's get into that, too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure that, at least, being in the music industry, I feel like it's very, or people say it's very male-dominated,
Mm-hmm.
but from what I see, it's not. But, like, there's, like, a lot of, like, power dynamics that kind of go into it.
Yeah.
Even, like, from, like, a music industry side, but even just in general as being an artist. So, like, I guess tell us a little bit about that experience that you were facing as, like, you were in the come up, like, putting your stuff out there, and people, I guess, are, like, say, like, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I am very, I don't want to say the word competitive, but I like being like, fuck y'all. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do.
What's your sign?
A Scorpio.
Oh, okay. Come on, Scorpio.
I love being like, fuck y'all, I don't give a shit. And I think when I first started, it was a lot of pushback. Like, when I first started, there was a lot of pushback of me just, like, getting shows. But what people don't know, it was me asking for shows, and it was me taking anything that anyone gave me.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to be on stage. Like, I didn't give a fuck about money. I just wanted to be on stage. And a lot of dudes were like, who is this bitch coming in here? Getting all these fucking shows. This bitch is playing Icy Twat in the fucking function. Like, da-da-da-da. Yeah, it's me. And I'm going to keep going because y'all pissing me off.
Exactly.
And I think that was really the thing that was pushing it. It was the dudes being like, who is this bitch?
Yeah. Well, fuck y'all. Look
Fuck
at where we are
y'all.
now. Exactly. But yeah, okay. Well, aside from the ugly ass men, let's keep talking about your own personal journey. And so yeah, like pushing you into that space of like you being out, you're in your zone. Let's talk about a little bit about the spaces, I guess, that kind of like transformed you in that way. Like, I know you're saying that, you know, you were looking for gigs and like willing to play because you really just wanted to be on stage. But I guess what are some spaces that you have been, even prior to being a DJ or being a DJ now, where you have felt like, oh shit, like this is the type of space that I want to create, or this is what I want to, like, you know, as an artist kind of put out there?
I feel like I talk about Hell Now all the fucking time. I'm constantly talking about Hell Now. But they were the first person that I saw where I was like, oh, they fucking get it. And I think I went to some show that they did, and it was like black people dancing to like techno. And it was the first thing that like cued in my head of like, oh, the shit that I listen to that I'm afraid to play. I could play this shit. They're playing it and people were fucking rocking out. And I think that was one of the first times I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's possible. So it's like, shout out Hell Nah.
No, please.
I fucking love them.
Shout out.
I fucking love Hell Nah. But they were like the first person that I saw that put the idea in my head of the spaces I wanted to start curating.
Okay.
I wanted to see black people and queer people all coming together to like vibe and it being like a safe space. And that's like the spaces I like try to curate. But I want it to be like electronic music.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
So within that same line, I guess, let's talk about the type of styles that you like to mix and kind of get into, I guess, like you were just saying, like the music that you like to mix. Let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah. I really have always loved rap and hip hop, like just always my whole life. I have a huge reverence for it. And then in high school, like around middle school, I started getting really into like electronic music and things of that sort. I remember one of the first things I heard was like a Subtract album, and I remember just being like blown the fuck away. Like Sample was on that bitch or whatever, and I remember just being blown away. And I think somehow what I do now incorporates everything at once. I love a lot of like putting rap shit over techno or house. But I also think I like doing that to connect black people to something, like to create a familiarity with like certain, like different sounds. Like,
right.
I don't want to just smack y'all over the head with like some 160 techno beat that y'all never fucking heard of and it's confusing. I'm going to throw Wayne on it just so y'all are a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
And like, I don't know. So that's really what it is. It goes back to me creating the spaces I want to see.
And I really love that you mentioned it, and I think that that's really beautiful because I think in general, like, I think it's important to say, like, techno is black music, you know, and so to make those interconnections and, you know, through your community, for your community, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is really important. And more than anything, that also, like, I guess speaks a lot to your artistic process, you know what I'm saying? So I think that that is something that is definitely can be seen through your work, you know what I'm saying? So I guess, well, in that same line, let's talk about, in terms of, like, the spaces you are creating. Tell me more about when you first started, or telling me as, like, that journey of you creating and kind of getting into that vibe. Like, how has that journey been like? And, again, what are those intentions that you're trying to set forward in the spaces you're trying to do?
What am I trying to say? I mean, I'm trying to get back to that roots. of like understanding that this is our shit for real. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really that's the whole goal here. No. We're trying to get Black people and queer people and all different types of people in these spaces to understand that, like, this is really our shit. Everything I want to do, I want it to reflect that. Like, every single thing. So.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, like, so we'll talk about, like, some of the first events maybe that you ever created, or...
Bet.
Yeah.
So, my name's Spinelli. Comes from Recess. Y'all may be too young to know.
No, what?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I have no idea.
Oh, sorry. That was a very abrasive response. I didn't mean to be like, I'm like,
No, you are completely fine. But Spinelli, Recess, whatever. So one of the first events I ever did by myself was Recess. And it was me just playing whatever I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it was when I first started low key. So it was just like me and a bunch of my friends. So I thought that bitch was lit. Because it was just like all of my like closest friends.
Yeah.
I want to redo that because it was just so perfect. Like it was just...
I think you should. I love the idea. Come on.
Fucking perfect. And then I just started doing another event. Because I was like freaked out. But I'm like scared to do my own events.
Okay. Is there any reason particular why? Like... Just stress? I mean...
Yeah, like literally just stress.
Yeah.
And like I don't ever want to like put other DJs in positions to like, what if people don't show up?
That's
like,
understandable.
Like that shit scares me. I'm gonna still pay you, but I'm like, I hate playing to an open crowd. Like I don't want to play to the floor. I'm not doing it. Well, I can, but I don't want to. It doesn't feel good. And that shit's scary.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, I think that playing to nobody might be even more terrifying than playing to everybody,
no,
you know?
Facts.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking scary.
Yeah.
So that's really why I didn't do it. But the first one was Recess, and that was phenomenal. But my friends are some of the best people I've ever met, so they all popped out. But trying to throw another event, I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
I did do a Social Experiment, which is a much different event.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Social Experiment and what y'all do.
It started out with me... Because I have this wide range of music, I could play anything. Some things not as good as others, but I could kind of touch on a little bit of everything. And the goal was to do like a social experiment to like play everything A to Z. But it kind of turned into that not really happening. I play a lot of like trap shit and sound like a lot of Cardi and shit like that. So it started turning into like this other audience that I catered to. So it's like much different. I pray if y'all come to the Social Experiment, y'all understand who's gonna be in there. I'm gonna be playing Cardi, rap shit. I try to tell people now. Cause some people come in there with techno shit on.
Like, it's a different vibe.
Yeah. There's like hood niggas in this bitch. Like, so I try to like prepare everyone. But yeah.
But yeah, so, and within that same act dance, let's talk about collaborations. I know that, for example, like Girls Race in the South, talking about like Happy Valley, Energy Ball, like, talk to us about like your experience with collaborating with other artists and other DJs and what that's been like, and maybe like a little glimpse into what each of those parties or like collectives and working with them has been like.
Oh yeah, a big part of this for me is like collaboration. Like community is like extremely like important to me. So Grits is phenomenal. I love Rakim, amazing. I've known Rakim for years. Most of the people that I work with repeatedly, it's funny because most of them are just like my friends. Like for real, Reyno's fire as fuck. That's like my friends, like in real life. Like most of the people I like keep working with are my friends. So it's like always cool. But I really love. And Twiggy's fire. Working with him up close and personal, like, I was like, bro, you've changed the game in regards to, like, how I want to, like, navigate and practice. And he really be working at his craft. Lex, phenomenal. I've known Lex probably for, dude, I don't know, maybe, like, 8 years. Like, a second. And the way that they're, like, fucking going off is insane, too. I love working with them. Honestly, all I have to say, all of these collaborations have been beautiful. I'm fortunate enough to where I haven't had a bad one yet.
It won't happen. It won't happen, hopefully.
Like, all of them have been great.
That's wonderful. I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I feel like collaborating with friends or, you know, meeting people and becoming friends, like, that's such an essential part of how things happen. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So to have that space, or for y'all to be creating those spaces together, I think that it speaks a lot to how everything turns out. You know what I mean? Like the
Facts.
intentions that y'all are collectively setting, and I think that it really shows.
Yeah.
But getting more into, I guess, a more general sense too, like, what are your thoughts about the scene here in New Orleans, maybe specific to the techno scene? What do you feel what do you feel about it? What do you find exciting about it?
I think there's a fuck ton of talent in this bitch. Like, there's so much talent. So I do that open decks thing every Wednesday. So I'm like touching base with all of these people.
Yeah.
Like constantly touching base with like newer DJs, older DJs, like all types of shit.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's like a lot of closed doors to where like there's a lot of rooms people aren't given access to right now. For some odd reason. I'm confused about it. Because this bitch small. I'm like, what do we have to lose? Like, it's crazy. That's what I try to do. I try to work with anyone, honestly. I'm like, I don't care. You've been DJing 3 weeks, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'd be like, who knows what could become of this?
Yeah. And so, I guess adding to that too is like, what would you like to see more of, you know, like on a positive sense, or even through your own work, you know?
I wish that there weren't as many, like, people weren't as gatekeepy. That shit sucks. Because it prevents so much good. And it's crazy because I'll meet people over here and people over here, and I'm like, y'all have no idea, but maybe if y'all interacted,
this could be...
Yeah, like, y'all don't even know. Like, it's because maybe you're like, you think you're like there, and you may think, like, I think that's what a lot of it is. It's like people having like class issues in regards to the music shit, which is weird because it's music. Right. It's supposed to be like community.
So
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm not even like I'm just really curious, like, not who, because I don't want to be like, oh, this person, but like, how can people keep other people out, basically? Like, do they have like dominion of the spaces already? They already have the contacts, or like, just, I'm being curious.
No. I really think that the way that people carry themselves push other people off of them, or the fact that people will reach out to certain people, they won't get a response, which is cool. Like, you don't have to respond to everybody, but I feel like when you get known for like not communicating, not wanting to like work with people, or like things like that, and there's a couple people where people are like, damn, like this person never want, like, they don't work with anyone outside of like this group, or like they don't want to collaborate with people like that aren't such and such. And I really think that's what it is, because you could be at a really high status. I think that's bullshit, but you could be like at a high point, and there's so much that you could do to like bring another person up or give them the spotlight, and people don't do that here.
Right.
Yeah.
People who are especially like respected DJs, like why aren't you just go somewhere? Just fucking go and pleasure savior. Find an event, look at the new person that's at the event, go and watch the fucking headliner. Yeah. Check it out and vibe. Why can't we all just vibe? Like, nobody wants to put people on because I think everyone's scared that opportunities are going to be lost. But like,
that's completely the opposite. And I think, I feel like also too in that mindset of like, you know, communal perspectives too, it's like, we're reshaping what that looks like. You know what I mean? Like that supposed limit of like accessibility or resources, like it doesn't need to be seen that way. It's not a competition. It could be like a completion. You know what I mean? Like people coming together and like working together. So yeah, definitely.
It's just weird. I had heard, it was on some podcast, somebody down here, they were like, the first time I hear somebody fuck up with a set, it was like my first time hearing them, like, I'm not fucking with it. And I'm like, that is the craziest shit I've ever heard. That's nuts. Yeah. Like, I feel like I've seen a lot of people do their first shows or whatever, or like just an early show, and I'm like, you know, maybe that could be fine-tuned, but like, where you at up here, there's a potential for like you to grow or whatever. And I think that's what a lot of like, I don't want to say old heads, but like these old heads be doing. They'll be like, fuck that person, that transition was shit. Fuck that, they didn't play the song right. And then they'll just X them out. But that shit's weird.
Yeah. Especially...
It's practice to get to where you are.
Back. Like,
and especially, like, in relation to, like, let's say, like, quote-unquote, like, a more underground scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a place where, like, you know, like... people from different places from Louisiana, or even in general from different places across the world, are coming into, like, you really would like to see a space where people are open to, I guess, not even collaboration, but to, like, learn from each other. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, it's different. It's different.
Like,
don't ask me out, give me a tip.
Right, like,
that.
Facts, bro. Like, I feel like there's been so many people who are just starting that have been like, hey, like, I'm scared to ask you, da-da-da-da. I'd be like, fuck it, let's set up a date.
Right.
Come through Wednesday.
I love that.
Come through Wednesday. We could figure it out. We could work it out. Like, but people don't want to do that, and that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
You say you fuck with your community, help people out.
So tell us then, what is within this line of, like, what you're feeling and what you've been seeing, like, again, like, going back to, like, the spaces you're wanting to create. Like, tell us about this energy that you're feeling right now and what you would like to see at the other side of that energy in relation to collaboration and maybe even just having more open spaces for people to work together.
I wish that, I just wish that there could be a better exchange of experienced DJs coming in and fostering younger and newer generations to do the things they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I'm a little older, so, like, the people younger than me that are just starting out or whatever, I feel like they have, like, these great ideas, and it's so, like, awesome and accepting, and, like, all of these different, like, the way the younger people are thinking, I'm like, yo, like, this is phenomenal. But I wish that in the city more of the old heads could, like, foster spaces for them to grow and continue making good ideas. That's what I want. That's what I'm trying to do.
I love that.
I'm a little older, so I be seeing, like, these newer DJs, and they're like beady bop, like, I don't know, like,
no,
doing great shit, like, just being awesome and doing all these things. I'm like, how do I help you foster and build things and create the spaces that I couldn't create when you were when I was your age? You know what I mean? That's what I wish this city could do.
Yeah,
like mentorship.
Yeah, like mentorship. Like, I feel like there's not, and that's really what it takes to, like, change shit out. That's what I want to see. I want to see more people down here exposed to different types of musics, but it being, like, accessible to them. Because sometimes I feel like certain things are, I was asking my friend the other day, I was like, oh, do you want to, like, there's this event, it's like house music. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, you've never heard of this thing? And he was like, no, what? No, I'm going to Shamrock. I was like, let me show you some fucking flyers, bro. What the fuck? I'm like, we need to make this a little bit more accessible.
Right.